Hello folks, my name is Onyx. So today I was cleaning up some stuff on my computer, my messy, dirty computer, and I came across a folder of old pictures of like stuff I had done on like Bedrock Edition on the Switch a long time ago. So I figured, why don't we like go through it and I'll like talk about some of the stuff that I have built and the reasons why I built it. And just, I don't know, I needed something to do. I didn't know if the power was going to come back on today because something happened, a thunderstorm, and it blew out the thing. There was a loud boom and the power went out. Anyway, let's jump into this here. So we got, this was a bridge. Obviously it's a bridge, but yeah, it's like it was kind of like part of this. This is a survival world that I had, that I built this big like tower with these walls around the place. And there was this river that went through it, and so I built this bridge over it. I also needed a way for my horse to get over it, this river, because it was, you know, how horses are with water. So yeah, I need to fix that. This is a picture of the tower from the outside of the walls. Here's that bridge we were looking at earlier. I believe that picture would have been me standing right here looking out that way. So this is the actual tower itself. You can see a nice lovely view of this thing right here, this pillar of stuff. This is like the water elevator that I took up to the top where my bed was. This was a carriage I built. It's kind of around some skeletal horses. I ended up finding a bunch of them, and I think I got all 4 of them. One may have died. And I've got these heads on spikes. Thought those were pretty cool. To ward off mobs, it doesn't work. This area is not very well lit either. So here's that carriage, little stable, the front gate. The actual way that I took most of the time was actually like across the bridge here, and that was to go to the mine and also to like my quarry and stuff, which was massive. Big old quarry. I don't think I have a picture of it. Okay, this is a totally different world. This was it was a realm that I had, and I wanted to do something interesting for a spawn that I hadn't done. And I thought about, there's this like continent thing that the spawn was on, and I was like, oh, why don't I do like this like ruined island that's been like destroyed or something? I didn't end up caring for it too much, so I kind of just gave up on it. But I thought it was an interesting just memory to look back on. Kind of had a darker, it's like an altar in the middle. There was a book that it probably was going to explain some things. But as you can see, there's like a burnt forest in the background. A little bit of blood on the altar there. This is actually the inside, the nether side of a portal that you'll see in just a minute. It's not the same world. This is a totally different world. This world I had actually, it's another realm. I spent quite a bit of time on it. And this is the inside of the nether portal. This is the outside. I think it changed a little bit later. Yeah, for the most part, this is what it looked like. There's actually a dig site I added later. Yeah, that's what it was. The spawn, I believe, is right here too. And there's like a book with some explanations. There are waterfalls right here. I used command blocks to create a particle effect right there. Thought it looked really nice for waterfalls. Okay, this is in that same world, or was in that same world. It's actually a mountain that I like blew the inside out of with TNT, and then built all these like crystal structures on the top, and then built this like forest on the inside with a portal. There's actually, this portal leads to a sort of like contained road in the nether that you take to get to the portal on the overworld above the mountain. It's difficult to explain, but I think I have pictures, so I'll talk about it. This is where I was going to build the base. I didn't actually build the base in here. I think I started to build like a floating island in the middle, or maybe a giant tree or something, but I never actually got around to finishing it before the realm like came up, and I was just like, same world, mountain next to this one. Just thought it was really cool. There's actually a skeleton spawner down here. I just wanted to mark it so that I knew where it was, and happened to be climbing the other mountain toward my base and turned around and I was like, oh, Wow, that looks nice. So I'll take a picture of that. Okay, this is a interesting one. Let me explain. You probably don't know what's going on by looking at it, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's a little obscure. This is actually the spawn point of a realm I did, or a world I was working on that I was going to put on a realm. The idea is that you are a soul when you spawn in. That's what these little white guys are. They're actual other creatures. I don't know what they are. I think this one might be a zombie, and then this one I think is just like a villager or something. I don't remember. I used command blocks once again to turn people invisible and then create a particle effect around them, only in this area. And this is like the spawn point. The idea is when you spawn here, you can just kind of like chill out. If you want. I don't think anything can hurt you in this area. So even though the zombies are chilling, they might like follow you around, but they can't hurt you. Over here, there was like, I was going to build like a cafe or something that you could just be like in as a soul. And it was just kind of a gimmicky thing. I just kind of wanted to mess around with command blocks some more. If you wanted to spawn in the old overworld, all you had to do was jump in here. And you just fall down there and you'd spawn. It worked. It was pretty cool. I don't think I have that world anymore, which is unfortunate, but cool nonetheless. I took a picture of it. The memories. This is actually in a creative world. I was decorating the inside of a build I was going to move into a survival world, but I wanted to make sure I would like it before I even did it, and kind of just find it a lot easier to decorate things when I have all the pieces, figure out from there what I need to get. This is obviously like a witch's potion area. I've got like a spoon and a cauldron with some stuff. Boy, Java's really missing this feature of like turning water different colors using dye and water and in a cauldron. That's a cool thing in Java or a cool thing in Bedrock that Java surely sorely needs. This picture it is kind of explains some other stuff I did with command blocks. Pretty much I had a class system set up. You'll kind of see more of it in a minute. What happened was every day at sunrise, it would give you a certain amount of stuff, your like class benefits or bonuses, I guess. And happened every day at dawn, and then most of them would be given like a potion and then maybe some items or something. The witch, which was the class I was testing with this, got a splash potion of harming, and then some ender pearls, and I think that was it. I probably change that in the future to give some like potion ingredients and maybe a potion. This is actually the same world. You can see the nether portal over here. It's the same world as that waterfall. The waterfalls are right over here in this area. So I was testing this in this world. And then at night, there would be a little like bell sound and would pop up with the moon has risen. I don't know. I just felt like the differences night and day. Daytime has one to tell you what your bonuses are. I think I initially set it up to where certain classes like the witch they're getting their benefits at night instead of daytime, and just to kind of mix it up a little bit. This was a scholar. Yeah, this was a dude I had stand outside the nether portal, just kind of like, it was a test basically to see if I could make a villager that would say something if you were next to them, and it worked, and I had never used it again after that. This is the inside of that contained area I mentioned earlier. I called it the Witch's Road. You can kind of see a pattern here with the witch speak. You basically went in through the portal that connected to the underground area was down here at the bottom underneath all this stuff. You had to go down through this like trail that snaked downward into the nether that led to the inside of the mountain area. These pictures are all mixed up and I'm not sure why, but this is an example of like the class system I had set up. It was a book explaining everything and all the stuff that I had set up with command blocks. You just picked a class at the very beginning. Your class got certain benefits or whatever, depending on, you know, what you were. And like, as you can see, I was testing the witch. There was a bunch of other ones. I had them all figured out pretty much. It's kind of neat, especially for Bedrock, because you don't have Java commands. You have some, but they're watered down, and I'm not very skilled at it either. This is the dig site. It's just kind of a picture from like inside the pit where all the stuff is. I don't even remember how I did this. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't remember how I did that. I think there might be an armor stand hidden here, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember whatsoever what I did. Used a bunch of heads and made it look like these guys are like digging it up and taking care of the nether portal up there. This little tent over here, it's pretty cute. This is where I put all the books that explain the classes. As you can see, there's different little pedestals with different books on them. This was a completely different world. that I had with a friend on a realm for a while that he and I played. This was the little spawn. I just decorated it. It's a cute little thing. I don't know, that you could see this like train, this railway that I worked on the entire time that went from like my base to his past to his base to the spawn point, and it went kind of like in this big circle around the world. It was cool. You'll see several pictures like this. There's a city that I built back here. I don't think I have a picture of it. That's kind of unfortunate. You can see the railway that I built. I tried to make it as realistic as possible with some of the stuff that I used. Here's another one that was really cool. Went over this like mountain ravine area. As you can see, when it snows, it looks particularly cool. And then this was something I called the Spire. It's in that same world. I think I was gonna make this the spawn point or something. I don't know exactly what my idea was for this, but it turned out pretty cool. It actually floats and it has this like sort of scaffolding built up around it to get up there. You can see it snakes down through the mountain. It was pretty cool. I don't think it was ever used for anything though. This is not the same world. This is a totally different world. We're starting to get into the pictures now that we're just like, I was either messing around or I built something in a survival world that I just like forgot about. It was like a one-off thing that like doesn't exist anymore. So some of these have obscure origins and I don't really remember exactly where they're from. So this was like sort of an abbey or like a little ruined area. There's like a tower in the middle, and I don't know if you'd call it a tower, but it's some stuff. And then there's kind of this wall around it. There's a village that way, and apparently the northern road is that way. I don't remember what the northern road is. Okay, once again, completely different world. This, you can see, you'll see other pictures of this temple later, but this is the city that was nearby. And a boat that I built. I thought all this stuff looked really good. I still think it looks pretty good, so pretty proud of it. Some of it's a little unrefined. There's not too much detailing and stuff done, but like some of this stuff looked really cool. And I did a really good job on the roofs on like these buildings. And then you can see like there's a dock over here. I actually had shops lining the dock area, and then there's some more that line this way under this big thing. Okay, this is that temple I talked about. It's the inside of it, looking up at the ceiling. I did this like sort of mosaic ceiling. That looked really cool, so took a picture. This in the middle is a statue. You probably can't, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can tell, maybe you can't. Holding a flaming arrow, and there's a bow on the other side. You just can't see it from here. Kind of like this goddess or whatever. I had this lore about this goddess in this world. Here's another one from the front. The goddess is based on my partner and the stuff that she likes to do in Minecraft. You can see there's some offerings here and stuff. I just kind of like went with it. Got some crystals here floating in the walls, and thought this turned out pretty nice. Of course, there's a resource pack that definitely adds something to it, as you could tell on the other ones too. There's definitely a resource pack. Again, this is all bedrock. All the pictures in here are bedrock. This is the outside of that temple. There's some like sunflowers and wheat, I think, around here. I think that's wheat. This was pretty cool too. It looks really cool. Looks better from down here, I think. Funny thing about this though, I'm pretty sure these are all slabs, or at the very least, there's some stairs or slabs or something. I think there's stairs right there. So salmon spawn just like all over the place, right? And they would flap themselves up onto these little areas and then just die. So there was just always food available. I feel like in survival, this would have been a very kind of an interesting way to just get food all the time, because there were so many salmon that just killed themselves for you to eat. Not intentional, but very useful. Here's what I was saying. It looks a lot better from the front angle, but you can kind of see the sunflowers and the wheat and all the things. I had actually some villagers around here that I had name tagged. They weren't monks, but they were like acolytes or something. I don't remember what I named them, but they were here and they were running around. They despawned though. Okay, this is a completely different world again. There's a few things in this world that'll probably show up. This was like my first, I think, real like big sky build. I don't think I had ever done this before, really. You can see it's like a big island sort of thing, with a big under fan propeller guy. It doesn't really like fall under logical. I mean, it doesn't really have a way for it to land. These are not feet for it to land on. These, I think, are smaller propellers. You can't really see them from here, but there are more blades that spin around. Got some balloons up here definitely make lots and lots of sense. I mean, it's kind of like supposed to be, there's a tower in the middle. It's kind of like a palace thing surrounded by some jungle trees. This picture is taken standing on the spawn platform. You'll see that in just a minute, I'm sure. Here's another statue. It's over the spawn platform. There's actually a cave that goes through here that leads to a little grotto where this statue is. The arm has fallen off this, the other arm has fallen off the statue, and it's over here. You can see it's kind of like a, I don't know, altar to worship or something. Here's a picture of the spawn island. You spawn up here on one of these rocks, I think, and then you just kind of like go off in a direction. It's not very deep, so the desert where the flying island thing is with the propeller is over on this side. This pyramid is in that same desert. It's just like a little bit away from the floating island thing. It's just a big pyramid. I just wanted to be able to build a big pyramid. Here's another picture of the island. Looks a lot better from this angle. You can see those little propellers I was talking about. Yeah, it looks a lot better from this angle. Still an impossible build, because like, how would you land this silly contraption? You wouldn't. There would just be no place for you to land. I guess you could land it in the like middle of like a bigger tower or something. That would be kind of cool, but I didn't build that. Here's the palace in the middle. It's not decorated on the inside. It's just a palace. I did put a bunch of these skulls like around it. I don't know why, I just did. Going back to the world with the waterfalls. This is a view from the other side. There was going to be like this city here. I had a few players joined the realm, but they didn't really stay very long. They had all these plans to build stuff, and then they just kind of disappeared one day. So I was like, okay. This was the enchanting station. That was about the only thing that actually got built in these spaces. Although I did have several of them claimed for stores and things. And I think this is the last one. I'm not sure what this is, actually. I don't remember doing this. I kind of remember doing this, but I don't remember why I did this. Like, there's bookcases on the inside, but why? I don't know. I don't really care for this all that much. It's just kind of a big thing, and it's not very organized or put together. Well, that's pretty much it. Those are all the things that I have pictures of at the moment. Yeah, they're pretty interesting, huh? I don't know. Not all of them, but some of them are pretty cool. Like, it's just cool to go back in the past and like look at worlds that I don't have anymore. I'm glad I took these pictures for sure. They, I would not remember these half as well if I didn't have them, you know. So take photos of your stuff. Save your stuff. Never know when your world will get deleted or something. I can only really blame myself though if my worlds got deleted, because I was the one deleting my worlds. So anyway, okay, so that was that. It was cool, fun, interesting. I wish I had more pictures. I don't, though. Not here. I have them on my Switch, though. I probably could bring them here, and maybe I'll do another installment of this enthralling venture into the past via the astral plane, which I'm currently floating around in. Okay, that's all I have. I don't know what I'm talking about now, so you can leave or you can stay. But I mean, I'm gonna stop the video, so if you do stay, you're just gonna be like sitting here by yourself, and that'll be, I don't know, you can go watch another video. Anyway, bye.